Hey everybody, how you doing? Happy Saturday night. Got some onions sauteing in here. They've been going for about 5-6 minutes, so they're nice and golden. And I'm going to add the sausage now, making Zuppa Toscano, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about that in a second. Let me get these guys in here. Yeah, so I have a confession. Hey Teresa and Deb, I have a confession. Excuse me. I've never had this at Olive Garden. This is an Olive Garden soup. And a few years back when we were doing heavy-duty keto, Marina, my daughter, sent this as a recipe for me, and we fell in love with it. So I'm going to do my version of this. I looked online, and there's a bunch of variations on this recipe, but it's basically a really good sausage. And if you're local in Sacramento, there's a sausage maker in San Francisco called Molinari. They make salamis and sausage, and we have a local Italian grocery store that sells that. And they have two versions. They have a mild version with or without fennel, and then they also have a hot version. I've made it with both. This happens to be the mild version, but I threw some chili peppers in there to spice it up a little bit. For my cousins in Redding, let's see, Salinos, or is it Salerno, Salinos, I forget. And there's a place in West Redding. There was an Italian grocery store in West Redding, right? Yeah. And so it's really kind of a simple recipe, and it's so good. It's kind of cooler evenings here in Sacramento. So I have eaten at an Olive Garden, I'll tell you that. I had at a time I was working for this company, and my boss, who was a Brit, loved Olive Garden. His name was David Allen, and David, if you're watching, how you doing? And David, when we would travel together, he would say, well, Dennis, where are we going for lunch? And I would say, we're going to Trattoria Davide, which is an Italian, in Italian it's David's restaurant. He loved the place so much, I don't know why. So, so David, this is for you. So I'm sauteing the sausage now. What I've got in here is a half of a large onion or a small yellow onion that was diced, and then I have 14 ounces of sausage. I got basically 2 links, so a little less than a pound of sausage. And then I'm going to add my chicken stock when the sausage is just about done, and it's getting pretty close here. And then I'll add kale, and then a little cream and a little Parmesan at the end, and that's it. It's done. Oh yeah. So the recipe from or the soup at Olive Garden has potatoes in it. So if you're keto, you don't eat potatoes. So I've got a potato substitute. What I did was I took radishes and I parboiled them, diced them up and parboiled them. So they're firm, but they're not mushy. And that's going to be my potato substitute. And I've served this to my father-in-law about a month ago, and he couldn't tell that they were radishes and not potatoes. Hi Dana, long time. So looking pretty good here on my sausage. I just want to keep it moving around. And you know, again, I have it in bite-sized chunks. So I guess if you can't find Italian sausage at an Italian grocery store, I know they sell it in supermarkets, but I made this with sausage from the supermarket. You know, they say it's Italian sausage, and the supermarket sausage is just don't cut it. And this is really an important part of the soup, because if you make it with like a shabby sausage, you get a shabby soup. So seek out really good ingredients, and it will reward you. So what I'm going to do is just cut through one of these guys and see if I got pink, or if I have, yeah, it's still a little pink. Once we get the chicken stock in there, it's not going to cook a whole lot much more. So it's important to get the sausage browned, and it's going to be pretty good here. The other thing I like about this is, you know, just a few ingredients. That's always nice, and it's quick. I think my prep time on this was, you know, cut the onion, take the sausage out of the casing. On the kale, I'll show you, I just chopped up the kale. I'll show you that in a minute. Let me get a cutting board. So the kale, I basically want to take it and strip off the bottom. Now let me move this over here so you can see what I'm doing. You guys see that all right? Let me tilt the camera down a little bit. And then I'm gonna lay it on its side and just slice away around the stalk. Like so. I don't want that. I guess you could chop it up into really tiny pieces if you want, but frankly, it's much easier just to go with this. So I'm going to just bunch it up and dice it like so. Again, I'm trying to get it into smaller pieces so it'll cook faster, it cooks evenly, and easier to go down. All right, here we go. This is getting pretty good. So what, I'm less than 10 minutes into this. Actually, a little bit more if you count the onions, but there, you can see that nice brown sausage there. Okay, hey Robin and Catherine, how you guys doing? Having soup tonight. All right, here's my chicken stock, 2 quarts. And I'm going to turn my heat up, get that to boil. Get rid of some of this stuff around here. Cream out, and I need a tasting spoon. Okay, here we go. Yeah, 2 quarts of chicken stock. Again, if you can't make your own chicken stock, you want to use a really good quality chicken stock. If you can only get Swanson's, double up the recipe and cook it down, and it'll get concentrated. You definitely want to have a nice flavored broth here. Okay. So, oh, it's got a nice little tang at the end there. So chicken stock is not seasoned, so this is going to take a fair amount of seasoning to get it edible. Just salt and pepper. My dog's wandering around the kitchen. I've got a blind dog. She's deaf too, but she could hear that, and that woke her up. What else is there? I only see about the first 4 or 5 people that come on with that. I don't know why. It's Facebook Live. The other thing that Facebook Live does is I'm not left-handed. So if you're watching this and it looks like I'm doing everything left-handed, I am not left-handed. That's kind of peculiar. Okay. That's better. This one needs a little more salt. I think with this recipe, this easily serves 8-10 people. I mean, it's a fair amount. Hey, Ann Roberts. Hi. Nice to meet you virtually. It's Sophia's Beau's mom. So this quantity serves, 10 people, or for Mary and I, it's just the 2 of us. We have leftovers all week, and then if it gets just like get tired of eating it, I actually give it to my neighbor. So I wish you guys lived closer. I could share it with you. Okay, we're getting close here. I just need to get this hot. That's hot. Need some pepper. Won't take long here. Again, everything's already cooked. So there it'll cook it quickly. That's hot. So on the kale, again, you saw me mince it. This is what, roughly 2 cups of kale. I think I like this curly kale. I think I took 2 large stems and the little one there, and that was it for the kale. Now I noticed in some of the pictures I was looking at that, and I think that Olive Garden probably does this, that they finish it with some bacon on top, which bacon always makes everything good, but I kind of like it like this. If you use a good sausage, that's always really good. So the kale is not going to take a lot of time to cook because it's so thin, and let's see if you guys can see that. Let me, whoops, kind of get an idea of what that looks like, right? Okay, let me put my stand back here. Sorry, don't get seasick. Okay, are we good? Can you see the Zuppa? Okay, it's starting to boil a little bit here, so I'm going to turn my heat down. Check on the kale. That's pretty good. Okay. Now it's time for some cream. Maybe like a half a cup of cream. It's just going to turn the whole thing white. That's really pretty. Look at that. Here we go. Ta-da! That's really pretty. Zuppa, Teresa. Okay. So I like to add some Parmesan at the end here to thicken it up a little bit. And then I'll save some for our garnish. Okay, push this aside so you can kind of see what's going on here. Oh yeah. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Cheese on top, a little cracked pepper. Okay, let's give it a shot. Give it a try here. You know why it's so good? Oh man, look at this. I forgot. Ha! Okay. Anyway, look at this. This is, let me get a little potato out here. Teresa, you should have told me I forgot the potatoes. Look at that. That is, you got that in there and it's just really a beautiful dish. Tastes great. Get really good sausage. That's the trick. And dinner is served. Bon appetit. Have some soup tonight. Maybe I'll see you guys next week. Ciao.